Sometimes there are times in life that you hit the metaphorical wall, or you're about to step out and do what you've always dreamed of pursuing. Or maybe a global pandemic comes out of nowhere and starts threatening your sense of certainty or future plans. Whatever it is, it's times like this that we could all use a little encouragement. In the next half hour, we'll be telling you stories from across India of men and women who started where they were, used what they had, and did what they could, and in due course scripted stories of hope, inspiration and courage. Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Aspirational India, and I'm Rukma with you. For decades, the forces that drive our global dependence on single-use plastics and our inability to keep plastic waste out of the environment have hit women and marginalized communities the hardest. While Mumbai is one of the worst affected in this regard, here in the city is an organization that is fighting on the front lines against plastic pollution. They make sustainable consumption and disposal decisions for entire families, as they engage the women and children in activities and then distribute the products among the poor and needy. They keep the city clean by collecting and selling plastic waste and making mattresses and mats from it, protecting the most vulnerable in spite of the systemic obstacles that persist. There is broad consensus that the transition to a circular economy for plastics and the shift to a green and sustainable world must go hand in hand with building a plastics value chain that is inclusive and gender equal, one that uplifts the insights and challenges of women and makes sure they are seated at the decision-making table. Here, a group of women from the Food Army in Mumbai have set about making this possible.
हम प्लास्टिक वेस्ट जो मुंबई सिटी में जनरेट होता है उसको कलेक्ट करते हैं और उसमें से हम थोड़ी उपयोगी चीज़ें बनाते हैं जैसे कि मैट्रेसेस वगैरह। तो क्या है कि ये पूरा जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसमें काफ़ी लेयर्स हैं। तो पहला जो लेयर है वो ये है कि इसमें हम जो स्ट्रीट चिल्ड्रन है और औरतें हैं जो रास्ते पे रहती है उनको हम एम्प्लॉय कर रहे हैं और उनको प्लास्टिक के बदले में ग्रेन्स दे रहे। फिर लोग अपने घरों में भी जो प्लास्टिक का वेस्ट होता है वो कलेक्ट करते हैं और हमारे जो ये कलेक्शन सेंटर्स ऑल ओवर मुंबई में रहते हैं वहाँ पे वो देके जा सकते हैं।
The products they make, mattresses of recycled polythene, are distributed among the poor and homeless. Single-use plastic, mostly polythene bags, are notorious for choking sewers, open drainage systems, spoiling sanitation, and creating an overall unaesthetic view of the environment. The practice of burning it on street sides and at dump sites produces dioxins and furans. Most of the waste the Food Army collects is from households and at collection centers where the public contributes. Plastic waste is recycled to make mattresses and mats, and the workers are destitute women and children who are given grains in return.
जो भी फैब्रिक्स हम यूज़ नहीं करते अपने घरों में जैसे कि साड़ियाँ हैं, चादर हैं, उन चीज़ों को कलेक्ट करके हम होम डेकोर आइटम्स बनाएंगे जिसमें कि फिर हम इन महिलाओं को जिनके पास रोज़गार नहीं है उनको उसमें शामिल करेंगे ताकि रोज़गार भी क्रिएट हो और जो भी पर्यावरण के प्रति हमारा प्रेम है कि पर्यावरण को कम से कम नुकसान पहुंचाया जाए, कम से कम क्षति उसको दी जाए, हम उसके लिए जो पुरानी चीज़ें हैं उनको अपग्रेड, अपसाइक्लिंग, रिसाइक्लिंग करने का प्रयास करेंगे।
Originally begun as an NGO to provide free food, the Food Army in Mumbai has become much more than that, providing employment to many destitute women and clearing the city of terrible plastic waste. India generates 15 million tons of plastic waste every year, but only 1/4 of this is recycled due to lack of a functioning solid waste management system. This heavily burdens landfills as well as the poor socio-economic conditions of waste pickers, mostly women. And it's not just polythene bags but household waste fabric too, which can be donated and then recycled to make decorative items here at the Food Army.
फूड आर्मी का ये मकसद है कि ये चीज़ सब लोगों के दिमाग तक पहुँचे कि प्लास्टिक यूज़ करना एनवायरनमेंट के लिए बहुत ही हानिकारक है। तो जब भी जाए तो क्लॉथ बैग लेके जाए। फिर भी ग्रोसरी के या किसी के भी प्लास्टिक रैपर्स आते हैं तो हमारी फूड आर्मी के वेबसाइट पे लॉगिन करके नियरेस्ट कलेक्शन सेंटर या फ्यूचर में आने वाली ड्राइव की इंफॉर्मेशन लेके खुद कलेक्ट करें अपने यहाँ घर पे और हमको बुला के या हमारे सेंटर में जाके अपना प्लास्टिक वेस्ट को डोनेट करें, जिससे हम मैट्रेसेस बनाएंगे और हम पुअर रास्ते में रहने वाले लोगों को डोनेट करेंगे।
While there are many parts to serving society, the Food Army's method is unique, a multifaceted approach that seeks to serve the environment, protect the earth, generate employment, skill the unskilled, and distribute food and necessary items among the poor and needy. With Ruhi Malik, Raju Gaikwad, and Kiran Brahmani in Mumbai, DD India. Our next story is from the serene environs of the Dal Lake in Srinagar. This gorgeous lake, surrounded by majestic mountains, now has an added attraction, an ATM on a shikara for the convenience of locals and tourists. The floating ATM was inaugurated on the 16th of August. Besides fulfilling a long-standing need of the area, the new addition to the lake's surface, SBI had launched the first floating ATM in Kerala in 2004 on a ferry operating between Ernakulam and Vaipayan region. The Dal Lake, which boasts of being the most beautiful and most visited lake of India's paradise on earth, Kashmir, has a multifaceted ecosystem. Covering an area of about 18 square kilometers, it is popular for unique houseboats and shikara rides that form its identity. Now it has an added item. On the 16th of August this year, the State Bank of India, or SBI, opened an ATM on a houseboat on the lake for the convenience of locals and tourists, for whom it is proving to be a boon. Houseboat operators and guides spoke of how it solves the problem of having to travel miles just for some cash. Besides fulfilling a long-standing need of the area, the floating ATM is also adding to the charm of Srinagar.
यहाँ पर कोई एटीएम वगैरह नहीं था पहले लेक के अंदर। स्टेट बैंक ने बहुत अच्छा किया, इन्होंने एटीएम यहाँ पर खोला, इससे टूरिज्म भाई अट्रैक्ट होगा। ये बहुत अच्छा फ़ायदा है हमारे लिए भी, कि हमको पहले कस्टमर को रोड साइड पर ले जाना था, एटीएम से पैसा निकालना था। इससे अच्छा हम इधर ही लाते हैं कस्टमर को, वो इधर से पैसा निकालता है।
In a town that has always been in the news for all the wrong reasons, this initiative by India's largest bank is evidence of a new dawn, of new hope for the future. For a state reeling under decades of violence, it symbolizes new beginnings, normalcy, ease of living, and growing trust and peace. With this, Srinagar has become a town where, from a total lack of such amenities even in marketplaces, amenities that most of us have taken for granted for ages, it is now home to one of the most unique such options.
इससे हमारा बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है टूरिज़्म को। जब कस्टमर को दिक्कत होती थी, कभी कैश नहीं होता था, तो दो यूज़ टू पे ऑनलाइन, जो मतलब कश्मीर में भी बहुत कम है। तो स्टेट बैंक को हम बहुत थैंक यू करते हैं कि इन लोगों ने फर्स्ट फ्लोटिंग एटीएम डल लेक में छोड़ा है। जो डल लेक वो मतलब अराउंड 28 किलोमीटर्स बड़ा है, तो और भी बैंक्स को ये चीज़ें करनी चाहिए, फॉरवर्ड आना चाहिए। किन्हीं जगहों पे और बहुत ज़्यादा जगहों पे लाइक मार्केट में भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, मार्केट में डालना चाहिए।
For the State Bank, the floating ATM is just another of many initiatives it launches, perhaps every month, as part of expanding services for its customers to enhance convenience. But for the people of Kashmir, it means much, much more. It symbolizes another step forward for people here towards a better, brighter future. Shabbir Dar in Srinagar for DD India. It's time now for a short break here on Aspirational India. We'll be right back with more inspiring stories, so stay tuned. years ago, they knew nothing about poultry or market research, demand drives or even profitable ventures, till the government stepped in and they heard terms like self-reliance and Atmanirbharta. These women in a small village in Bihar decide to venture into unknown territory and thereby scripted new stories of self-reliance and financial stability, not helping just themselves but reviving families who could have easily been lost to poverty and all its accompanying fallouts. As always, they rose up to save their families, and the success they achieved has inspired thousands more. The signboard says it all. A centre for duck rearing run by women and part of the Modi government's Rural Livelihoods scheme. It's a first of its kind farm in Raniganj in Araria for rearing ducks run by some courageous women who came out of their homes to do something about their impoverished conditions by taking advantage of the government's many initiatives for them. They were venturing into totally uncharted territory. Duck farming is a developing business and despite its significance is not understood or undertaken by many. But these women took the plunge and made a success of it. Starting with a few specimens in an inexpensive shelter and using locally available materials, they worked hard as ducks have a relatively short brooding period. The ducklings grew fast and more women joined them from nearby villages.
ये खाकी कम्बल बत्तख है। ये बत्तख अधिक अंडा देता है। 4-5 महीना में अंडा देने लगता है और इसे अंडा को हम लोग बाजार में बेचेंगे और इससे 3500 दीदी लाभार्थी होंगे और इससे अधिक उद्योग होगा हम लोगों को।
Taking care of the farms in addition to their regular chores was not easy, despite the fact that ducks are hardy birds and require less management and care. They can quickly adapt to all types of environmental conditions. For these newly trained women who had little or no experience in more than just household or farm work, it was a grueling daily learning process. But the benefits were immense, especially when the government came in with more aid.
हम लोग की योजना है कि धीरे धीरे अररिया जिला में हर एक प्रखंड में हम लोग 2-3 ऐसी योजनाएं प्रारंभ करें और जीविका दीदी के माध्यम से संचालित हो, ताकि हम लोग अपने जिला में महिला और विशेषकर जीविका दीदी को हम लोग आत्मनिर्भर बना सके और बत्तख पालन से इसको जोड़ सके।
To those they interact with, these women on the duck farm, as part of the program, they are Jivika Didi. From learning to select a suitable water body, which is a must for the reproduction of ducks, they learnt the exact times of laying eggs and how other birds can serve as substitute mothers. Working with diesel or automatic incubators to hatch eggs and keep ducklings safe from water in the early days. These women are now experts in these tasks and helping others learn the ways too.
जीविका द्वारा एक जो हम लोग पीजी फॉर्मेशन किए हैं जिसमें 35 दीदी सदस्य हैं, उसमें बत्तख पालन का भी कार्य किया जा रहा है और बत्तख पालन का कार्य जो अररिया जिला में किया जा रहा है, ये पूरे बिहार में पहली बार यहाँ पे एज ए इनिशिएटिव लिया जा रहा है। इसमें दीदी लोग का बत्तख पालन पे कोसी बेसिन के द्वारा भी सहयोग मिला है और उनके द्वारा आगे की आगामी योजना है कि उनकी ट्रेनिंग भी हम लोग कर लेंगे और इसके पहले ही नॉन रेसिडेंशियल ट्रेनिंग इन लोग की कोसी बेसिन से और हमारे जो लाइवलीहुड स्पेशलिस्ट होते हैं, जो हमारे लाइफ स्टॉक मैनेजर होते हैं जीविका में, उनके द्वारा टाइम टू टाइम हम लोग इनका ओरिएंटेशन और ट्रेनिंग कर चुके हैं।
Marketing is as important for them as any other business entrepreneur. Careful attention to every detail, like cleaning the eggs before dispatching them to the market, ensuring a deep layer of hay or wood chippings to act as a buffer when transporting the packages to the market, and in some cases even how to build well-ventilated and safe homes for them. Ducks like damp places. As you can see, the enclosures are simple, the floor the natural terrain, and with a deep litter of depth of between 5 to 6 inches. All the necessary steps to safeguard the eggs have been taken, like an oil drum or wood to raise it in suitable places, regular vaccines, and regular strict vigil to make sure predators do not attack them are all taken care of. No wonder their eggs are in great demand these days, even wanted by many pharmaceutical companies. From Araria, Mohammad Shahid Bashir for DD India. Women's self-help groups in India have been widely applauded for their proactive role during the pandemic. Rising to the extraordinary challenge, India's self-help group movement has evolved from small savings and credit groups that sought to empower poor rural women into one of the world's largest institutional platforms of the poor. Today, 67 million Indian women are members of 6 million SHGs. Among the many states that have led the way in this is Himachal Pradesh, where women have fought the battle not just against the virus, but walked the path to self-reliance with grit and determination. Take a look. In the small village in Chamba of Himachal Pradesh, away from the limelight of the cities, these women are producing garments and running a successful woolen garment and decorative item enterprise that has enabled and empowered them in many ways. This is the story of one single woman who first herself traveled the road to self-reliance and financial independence and then helped others do the same. Training herself in the knitting of woolen garments, she then started a business where she trained other women and enabled them to walk the path of self-reliance as she had done. Call her one among many leaders of India's women's movement in her own way.
6 साल से ये काम कर रही हूँ। मैंने जो ये मशीन सीखी है और इस पे जेंट्स, लेडीज़ और बच्चों की स्वेटरें बनाती हूँ और मैं ये गुलदस्ते भी बनाती हूँ, झुंबर भी बनाती हूँ और जो है मेरे पास बहुत सारी लड़कियों ने काम सीखा है और सभी काम कर रही है।
Starting off with one machine, she started training local women of nearby villages. After 6 years, she has trained nearly 100 women. Her sincere efforts over more than these years have borne fruit as more and more girls travel the route to freedom from dependence and helplessness. Behind it all are social workers like Anju Dhiman, who exhorts the mantra of self-reliance and financial independence.
मैं महिलाओं को प्रेरित करती हूँ ताकि वो सेल्फ डिपेंड बन सके, आत्मनिर्भर बन सके और उन महिलाओं को किसी के आगे झुकने की ज़रूरत न पड़े, किसी के आगे जो है वो पैसे के लिए हाथ ना फैलाने पड़े.
Various government programs to reduce poverty by mobilizing poor rural women into self-help groups and building community institutions of the poor has worked wonders in India. And it is women like these brave hearts in Chamba who are part of that change in women's circumstances countrywide. Moreover, Prime Minister Modi's exhortations for self-reliance have definitely struck a chord. And how? Mansoor Mohammed in Dalhousie for DD India. It's time now for a very short break, but there's more up ahead as far as stories of hope and courage are concerned on Aspirational India. So tune in.
Namaste India.
Namaste land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
Zari India.
Salam India.
Namaste India.
Namaskar Bharata.
Muy India.
Nahnu Hunud.
India.
Ma Hindi Hasti.
Mung Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.
Your window to rising India. India's voice on global platforms. Latest news from India and around the world. In-depth analysis of global headlines. Watch DD India in your country. Available for downlink in all Southeast Asian countries. STTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 17 at 93.5 degrees east. HDTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 10 at 83 degrees east. For technical details, scan here. Switch to DD India now.
An orchard in Jammu Kashmir's Kathua is attracting a lot of attention these days. Deepak Gupta, its owner, belongs to a family of businessmen, but the decision to cultivate dragon fruits is his own. Born of the desire to do something off the beaten track, his farm in the Lachvipur village of Kathua, Jammu and Kashmir is very popular and gets a lot of visitors everywhere. This farm belongs to Deepak, is growing dragon fruits on his farm, and as the only person in J&K who cultivates dragon fruit, Deepak takes great pride in his enterprise and has gone to great lengths to train himself as best he can, with the intention that he can also help others who seek to follow in his footsteps. Deepak Gupta, an entrepreneur from Kathua, is a pioneer cultivator of the world-famous dragon fruit in his field, garnering attraction from locals and others. Born to a family of business persons, Deepak wanted to do something different all his life in the field of horticulture, and he travelled as far away as Gujarat to learn the methods and techniques behind a successful dragon fruit crop. A lover of nature, he passionately believes in the immense benefits of the fruit.
आजकल जैसे लोग नेचर को इतना लव कर रहे हैं और नेचर के साथ ही हमारा पूरा फ्यूचर कंसर्न्ड है, तो उस चीज़ को देखते हुए मैं थोड़ा नेचर लवर था, तो मेरे को ये आइडिया आया दिमाग में कि ड्रैगन फ्रूट का मैंने वीडियोस देखे थे कहीं पे, तो ये बेसिकली अलग टेक्निक से ये फ्रूट तैयार होता है कि मतलब इसमें ये नहीं है कि पेड़ लगा दिया, ये पिलर लगाते हैं हम, पिलर के ऊपर हम 4 पेड़ लगाते हैं चारों साइड्स पे, उसके बाद इसको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये क्रीपर की तरह होता है, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ग्रो करता है, जैसे 1-1.5 साल में ऊपर से नीचे होने की करता है, तो उसके बाद इसमें फ्रूटिंग होना शुरू हो जाती है।
A progressive farmer in all respects, Deepak has appealed to other young farmers of his generation to come forward and establish similar farms and plant high-yielding varieties of fruit that can certainly boost their income and prove a boon for the farming community. His intent is to free farmers from being hostage to the weather or the monsoons.
काफ़ी अच्छा काम है, हमें तो काफ़ी अच्छा इसमें आउटपुट भी काफ़ी अच्छा मिल रहा है, जैसे फ्रूट्स भी काफ़ी अच्छे हमारे यहाँ के टेम्परेचर के हिसाब से, स्टेट के हिसाब से, और ये ज़्यादा लोग कर नहीं पा रहे हैं अभी यहाँ पे, बाकी लोग यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं देखने, लोगों को मेथड अच्छा लग रहा है, लोग भी काफ़ी इसमें इंटरेस्टेड दिख रहे हैं और काफ़ी लोग पूछते हैं इसके बारे में कैसे किया है, कैसे है, और हम लोगों की पूरी सपोर्ट भी करेंगे, जानकारी भी देंगे लोगों को पूरा कि कैसे इसको लगाना है, जो प्रॉब्लम्स हमें फेस की हैं, जो प्रॉब्लम्स हमें आई हैं, हम नहीं चाहते कि वो प्रॉब्लम्स आगे वाले फार्मर्स को आएँ, तो हम बेसिकली इसमें लोगों को सपोर्ट भी करेंगे पूरा कि कैसे इसको पूरा टेक केयर करना है।
Deepak takes great pleasure in the unique methods of cultivation that this exotic fruit requires, and he believes in spreading his experience, talking to other potential cultivators and encouraging them to do as he has. The growing of such farms by new generation farmers on the basis of modern technology can prove a boon for them, as this will certainly help in the Prime Minister's efforts to double the income of farmers and motivate the younger generation towards the setting up of such farms for employment generation. And that is what Deepak believes. Bureau Report, DD India. And finally, at the end of our show, we bring you this inspiring story of a woman from the very margins of society, belonging to an Adivasi background in a remote area untouched by technology and even the basic amenities, who single-handedly changed her destiny. Take a look. Chandrakali Markam, a smallholder poultry producer from the village of Kurile of Somnapur block of Dindori district in Madhya Pradesh, received the CII Foundation Woman Exemplar Award 2020 under the category of Micro Enterprise. Selected as one amongst 15 women in the country, she is being recognized for her exemplary work in organizing and running a successful poultry cooperative society of nearly 400 tribal women in the district, with an annual business turnover of more than 12 crore rupees.
हम लोगों को साल भर में 25 से 30 हज़ार इनकम हो जाती है। घर में घर के भी काम करते हैं, बच्चों का देखभाल भी कर लेते हैं और साथ में थोड़ी बहुत खेतीबाड़ी है उसको भी काम कर लेते हैं और खेतीबाड़ी के साथ साथ में हम लोगों का ये घर बैठे रोजगार है।
This society is a part of the Madhya Pradesh Women Poultry Producers Company, a federation of nearly 10,000 women poultry producers from deprived communities in the state. This experience of economic empowerment drove Chandrakali to grow a federation of 507 SHGs or self-help groups in Dindori, spread across 53 villages in Samnapur block. Chandrakali also spearheaded the formation of a poultry cooperative in a block in 2006.
इनकी जो टर्नओवर है वो 18 करोड़ तक इन्होंने किया है। अभी मिशन की ओर से ये प्रयास चल रहा है कि जैसे अभी 476 महिलाएं इससे जुड़ी हुई हैं, वो सभी समूह की दीदियां हैं, हमारे मिशन अंतर्गत समूह की दीदियां। तो हम लोग चाह रहे हैं कि ये लगभग 1000 महिलाएं और इसमें 500 महिलाएं और जोड़ें। इसके लिए परियोजना प्रस्ताव भी तैयार किया गया है और शासन के पास भेजा गया है।
In the remote interiors of a region that has remained untouched by the ecosystem and culture of entrepreneurship, Chandrakali is moving women from landless families to think of businesses such as mushroom cultivation and to promote village ventures. Lakshmi Narayan Avadhya in Dindori for DD India. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Aspirational India. We hope you enjoyed our show. We'll be back again next week with a fresh edition with stories of hope and courage from across India. So stay well and stay safe. Namaskar.